Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St. Louis
BlueNote fan report. Hey, it is game day. 3 games in 4 days for the St. Louis Blues. They got a little time off, and they kind of made a move today. Not the move I was expecting, and in fact, it's baffling, the move they made today. And I mean baffling. I don't get it. This move makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense to me. Right? Yeah, I got a lineup, and I don't like it either. The move they made was they signed Sonny, to a 2-year, $1.5 million AAV contract. I don't get it. He's not the answer. He's not a bridge. He's not a bridge gap at all. Now, when you come to the lineup, they swapped Sod and put Bushnevich. Let's put one of the slowest players on the team with 2 of the fastest and see if that works out. Oh my God, I'm not looking forward to this game at all. By the way, I figured out what's going on with my Twitter views. They're not continuous views. Yeah, bud, it has been a while. How you doing? It's not continuous views. They're cumulative. So it's cumulative views. It's not the views right now. So my views are kind of fake. I'm not going to look at my Twitter views. I'll look at my other ones. So I know the numbers aren't right. Down with the Devils. We can try, my friend. We can try. I don't know, man. The Blues are scaring me right now. What they're doing. Moving Bushnevich down is really interesting because I don't get it. I think it does too. Hey, E, how you doing, my friend? Thank you. I don't know, guys. God, I've been an Armstrong backer really, really strong. Armstrong backer. I have been. And I got to tell you, the Sundqvist one, this makes sense now, saying that that Berube is acting as a scout. That makes sense. I know when it was first reported, I said, no way. I can't say that anymore. I absolutely cannot say that anymore. By the way, thank you to Jason Nichols for putting the thumb in the air. Greatly appreciate that. At least now I know that my views are fake. It is what it is. Sister Day says, I don't get it. I hear you say this about. I heard you say this about Funny before. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. He's not the guy. I mean, if you're rebuilding, you're looking for players to bridge that gap, and Sonny's not it. My God, Sonny this season. Sundqvist. I can't even find his numbers. Sundqvist this season, 62 games, has 21 points. Is a -6. How does that? I don't know. I don't know, man. The Walker signing I got. I understood the Walker signing. I don't understand this one. Right? And the Walker signing surprised me. I didn't think he'd be back, but I was happy with it. I was really happy with it. On line one, except faceoffs, I think they played well. Faceoffs is a big issue there, right? Jason says they're using Sonny to help up. No. I don't think so. Nah, I'm not on board with that. There's better options than Sundqvist, even at 1.5. Yeah, he is, bud. Yeah, he is. I just, I don't know, man. The game is on ESPN, the main network, the main channel. It is not on Hulu. It is not on ESPN Plus. You have to have the main station to watch it. So you have to have a cable or something like that. So I if you don't have it, I apologize. You can watch the show and I'll tell you what I think's going on, but that's the best way, right? That's the best way you can do it. I don't know what else to say to you, buds. Dude and dudettes. That's the best I can say. I can say, watch me more. Right? Yeah, he's not that young. Sonny's in his 30s, I think, or close to it. I think we talked a little bit about him last night. Joel Edmondson made a move. Joel Edmondson got traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that's a second stint with them. It may be. It may be his second stint. And I'm trying to get back to the where's Sundqvist at on this. Okay, Sonny D. He doubled his salary too. He was making $775. You doubled his salary, and he's 29 years old now. Man, that move does not make sense to me. It doesn't. It does not make sense to me. I mean, Blaze you sign Blaze, and I quit. He signs Blaze, and I quit. Only bottom six forward we have that's better than Sonny is Laz Erler. Maybe I don't know, man. I think there's a lot better than Sonny because he hasn't done much. I mean, they got him on the power play. I don't understand it at all. He hasn't helped that power play out at all. Bolduc should be on the power play, but he's not. JJ says, I'm at Walmart, headset on, listening. You are riding around in my cart. Oh, riding around in my automobile. Riding around in the grocery cart. Riding around in the grocery cart. I don't want Blaze. I don't either. I didn't want. Look, Sonny was okay for a year. The 2 years doesn't make any sense to me. Noah Akari has only been good on the PK, not much else. We had Akari last year, so right. We traded 5 players away last year. Only one player ended up on the team that stayed with the team he was traded to. And in fact, a couple are bouncing teams, right? Tarasenko, he's on his 4th team in 2 seasons, right? He was on the Blues and the Rangers last year, in Ottawa and Florida this year. He makes his Florida debut against Philly. Come on, Vladdy, get me some goals tonight. I'm not sure he's going to be happy in the 3rd line center role, but he's been playing one all year. We shall see. Daddy needs goals and assists tonight. I need goals and assists from Jonathan Marshall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ryan O'Reilly, Vladimir Tarasenko, Robert Thomas, Ryan Graves, Nick Jensen, and Alex Pietrangelo. And I need Jordan Bennington to make a whole bunch of saves. Lots of saves, no goals against. Oh, you guys are in trouble now. You guys are in trouble now. The Lance man is here. Okay, make sense of Sonny for me, because I don't get it.
I can't make sense of it. It makes zero sense. The guy was making, he basically got he got 100% raise because he was making $775. The only thing I can think of, hold on a second. I'm going through a drive-through right now. Just wanted to get on.
Yeah, it wasn't my show yesterday, Lance.
For London Descott.
Say again?
No, go ahead.
No, I said yesterday it wasn't my show. That's why I couldn't bring you on.
No, that's fine. I was confused. I had just woken up from a nap. I know I sound old when I say that, but I don't know how anybody outside of the organization, I don't care if it's Jeremy Rutherford, Luke Horick, any writers in the NHL can make sense of this trade. He's 29, 30, or this signing. He's 29, 30 years old. He's diminishing. You can watch him out there. He's slow now. He's much slower than he used to be. And because of that, he has to take bad penalties. The only thing I can think of, and I put this out there, the only thing I can think of is somebody liked him to put on a 4th line or to add AHL depth, which I wouldn't see why they would do that. And they're going to package him in a trade. But it makes zero sense to me. 0 cents.
I'll tell you what. The only thing that makes sense. Remember that thing we got told about Berube being a scout for the Blues?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That is the only thing that makes sense, is that he is a scout for the Blues and he loves Sonny, but
nope.
like you have Sonny. You have Sonny on the power play. Sonny doesn't help your anemic power play. You need Bull Duke on that power play.
Yeah, and you know what? Berube, even if he is being there, which nobody in the Blues organization will confirm with me. I've had 2 people tell me no, he is not a full-time scout with them, that he's not. And he has 0, even if he was, I don't know any scout in the NHL that has a say-so over who the Blues sign that's already on, who a team signs that's already on their roster. When I saw that, I thought it was a joke. And then I noticed it was from the Blues account, and I'm like, this is just insanity. Are they going to sign? Are they going to sign Blais again for another year, or Verona?
I hope not, because the signing doesn't make sense.
It makes 0 sense.
He's not a bridge gap.
No,
he's not a guy that bridges you to a rebuild or a retool.
Mm-mm.
And I don't have a problem with the retool. I don't have a problem with a rebuild. I don't think we should have, but
no. And you know what else? I don't think anybody on the open market come July would have paid him that much. They probably could have waited.
I don't either.
They probably could have waited.
He gets a contract.
Probably not. And if he does, it's going to be a PTO or it's going to be another league minimum. I don't understand Doug Armstrong.
He went the whole offseason without anybody talking to him but us.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm not bouncing on this either.
And how many out of the last 10 or 12 games have you and I both said almost the same time while we're watching the game, stupid penalty by Sundqvist?
In Sonny's interview, it sounded like he knew they were in a rebuild retool, and said he told Army he wants to help this team be a contender again. How?
So what?
How?
Here's what
how he wants to help, because he hasn't been doing it.
Here's what gets me is this. Fans, not just with the Blues. Well, this guy wants to come back. He wants to be part of it. Well, I don't care. If he doesn't fit in, I don't care if he wants to be back. $1.5 million for 2 years it's got to be one of the each year for the dumbest move that Armstrong has made. And people get on to him for the no trade clauses. I think this is worse than that.
Maybe there are things we don't know. Packaging trade.
That's what I already said.
Well, the packaging trade, I have a hard time. So usually in a trade, you're not having a guy already signed. You're not signing him. The other team is signing them. They're signing the deal with the other team. This is directly on our salary cap, right? This goes directly to our cap, and could affect the trade, especially if we gotta basically. If someone turns around and says, "Oh no, you got to retain salary on him," they're getting him for free. Do you get that? They're getting him for free almost. And that I shake my head. I do. I call me a fucking idiot, call me stupid, call me unknowledgeable, call me whatever. I don't get this. And if you're watching me on Facebook and you're not putting a thumb in the air, shame on you. Where are those thumbs on Facebook? Come on, guys. You do it all the time. Now I'm not seeing any of them. There we go. Daniel Rios. I think Daniel might be. Hope Daniel's not one of my scammers. By the way, somebody got a hold of my BlueNote, the BlueNote fan report on Facebook, and they put an ad out. That is not me. Do not buy shoes from me. Do not buy anything from an ad from me unless I sell something. Hi, Daniel. How you doing? Hey, man. How you doing, buddy? Right? I guess I'm going to kind of not like the way that they're doing these views for Twitter now. Oh, well. Welcome to the show again, my friend. Welcome back. Hey, Rav, how you doing? YouTube's getting a little bit of a liking today. Well, it was earlier, not now. Look, I'm just shaking my head, man. I'm shaking my head. I don't understand the move. It makes no sense to me. A lot of people talk about, I don't want to make the playoffs because if you do, you're not getting the good draft pick. Right now, the Blues would draft 17 or 18, somewhere right around there. 17 or 18. You make the playoffs. You know where you're drafting, more than likely? If you make the play, let's say you make the playoffs, right, as the last wild card, and you get bounced in the first round, where are you drafting? I want to see if people realize this. Where are you drafting if you make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round? Where we're sitting now. I think you might be surprised. I don't even know if anybody's watching me. You would probably end up drafting 17th or 18th. 17th or 18th. No, you wouldn't even be in the 20s. 17th or 18th. Nope. Well, yeah, top 20. 17th, you would be 17th or 18th. So the way the draft works, first of all, at the end of the season, the first 16 teams that don't make the playoffs go in as 1 through 16 before the lottery. The lottery comes and it could flip-flop. You could potentially go from the 16th spot to the 7th spot. You can move up 10 spots. So 16, I think you can move up to 6. So you could potentially, not likely, you'd have less than a 1% chance of moving up to the 6th spot. And it didn't matter if you were picked first, or you were picked second. The best you can do is move up 10 spots, and you would end up picking 6th or 7th. That's it. 6th or 7th.
Yep.
Right? That's the best you're going to move up. You're going to do. Actually, I think you would pick 6 no matter what. If you won one of the spots, the best you would do is you pull up the 6th.
I think you're right. Yep.
Right? Because you can only move up 10. So it doesn't matter if somebody else gets 1 and then you get your name pulled second. You're only moving up 10 spots. So you're getting 6th. Not going to happen. You have less than 1% chance of getting the 6th pick. So it doesn't, the chance of it happening. You make the playoffs. The good thing about making the playoffs is the money it brings the organization. And that money brings, that money does in some ways help solidify prices. I mean, I know they go up every year. That's inflation. That's other things. But a team in the playoffs makes more money than a team not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Even if they don't have a longevity in the playoffs, being in the playoffs and playing at home definitely helps you. It brings in gate, it brings in money, it brings in concession.
Well, here's another good one.
Right?
So I said, right now, let's say that they get the last wild card on the West. Okay.
Yep.
The best they could draft are where they would end up drafting if they got bounced in the first round would be 17 or 18.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because I don't know. Now, let me ask this. Here's another good question. Let's say they made the second round, got bounced in the second round. Where would they draft?
I would say probably 23 to 25.
Nope.
Where?
This is going to blow your mind, Lance.
19th?
Nope. But you're closer. 17th or 18th.
Yeah, I mean,
the teams that get bounced in the first 2 rounds go back into the pool based on their end of the season records. So even if you make the second round, right?
Yep.
Even if you make the second round, you don't drop. The reason that we got Bull Duke was because Montreal, which had a lower record than we did in the bubble, right, made it to the semifinals, made it to round 3. So they moved out of the bottoms, the bottom 10 or 12, right? The bottom 12. Those bottom 12 teams, so it doesn't matter where you get bounced in the second round. You don't move to that last 4 spots until you make round 3.
Yeah, and another thing is this, guy, and I've brought this up and I've preached this. You don't know how many times I've heard in the last 2 weeks, getting close to the trade deadline, of players that other teams are willing to trade, former first round top 15 picks, that maybe haven't worked out, or a guy that's from the 3 or 4 years ago that was a top 10 pick. Guys, you build your draft through the whole draft. And I can't get this through Blues fans, especially, and other fans, that, you know what? Yeah, it's great to have a top 5 pick. It's great to have a top 10 pick. Does that guarantee you're going to have a generational player? No way in hell it does.
No.
There's a lot of guys picked in the top 5 and the top 10 in the last 10 years. Go check it out. Who either are 3rd, 4th line guys that don't give you much. They're good players, but not great, or they're no longer in the NHL. The fans have to stop being so enamored with, if we could move up 2 spots. Do you guys really think there's a huge difference between, let's say, the 16th and 18th spot? Not really. You can find, look at where we found Kyrou. Look at where we found Tage Thompson.
Yeah.
Late first round on Tage Thompson and early second round on Kyrou.
Yep. And Thomas was
Thomas was late. Yep.
Late first round.
What was he, 25th? Was he 25th or 24th?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then the Blues have done very well
Yes.
drafting late.
Yes. Yep.
And that's been a big point. How many points did the team need in order to make the playoffs? I think it's 95. I still think 95
Yep,
is the number.
yep, and I agree with you, and I've agreed with you all year. If they
Right?
keep playing the way they have, I think they're going to end up with between 85 and 86 points.
No, I think they're gonna end up with in 90s. I think they're gonna hit the 90 mark, 90, 91. Right?
I know people are going to get upset. Well, why don't you tank? Well, guys, just giving you a reason why you don't tank.
Yeah.
Right? And
I mean,
I've given you. Yeah, I've given you a reason. The difference between the 17th overall pick and the 25th overall pick, there's not a huge difference once you get to that point. I mean, go back and look at how many I think Jason Spezza, I might be wrong, but the Jason Spezza, I think, was a third round draft pick, and look what a long career he had.
Yeah. No, for me, the draft, while the draft is 7 rounds, rounds 5, 6, and 7 are an absolute. I mean, they're like playing roulette.
It is.
You're playing roulette with those picks because the amount of them that actually do end up making it it's not a lot. It's 3 and above. You do get some 4th rounders. Like there's a couple 4th rounders on the Blues now, right? But then you have guys that you get a few, but the majority of the guys that are gonna make the NHL are the 3rd round or higher. Well, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, and I think Walker's a great player. I think he's a 4th line guy, and I think he gives energy. And there's something. Everybody loves the skill player in a lot of cities. The Blues
put Walker. You got to put Walker with Bolduc and Neighbors now. You have to.
I think that would work because you've got 2 feisty guys. You got 3 feisty guys, and you've got 2 of them that are pretty dang good goal scorers, and then you've got Walker, who can give you 10, 15, 18 goals in a year, something along those lines. And
what Walker gives
I like
you
him.
is the ability to go behind the net
That's
and
right.
win a puck.
That's right.
When he gets it out, there's somebody with him.
He works hard, just like Torpchenko. I mean, I very rarely will say, like, did Torpchenko play today? I didn't notice his name called. Or did Walker play today? I didn't notice his name called. And look at where guys like Walker and Torpchenko were drafted.
Well, the other thing with Torpchenko or with Walker is he gets down there and Sundqvist is nowhere to be found. Torpchenko's down there with him, but the guy that needs to be down there to be open when the puck comes out isn't there anywhere to be found.
Yeah. Sundqvist is an old 30-year-old player based on how physical and how all out he plays.
I feel like he is.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he's helping the team that much at all.
No.
I don't get this. And then again, they change up the lineup and they switch Saad and Buchnevich.
That's stupid.
I don't get that.
I've been listening to the radio when I went to just pick up pizza my son ordered, and all the media is praising it. Oh yeah, moving Buchnevich down makes sense. You got to spread the offense out. Well, the problem with that is Saad's not adding offense to the first line. He's adding nothing to the first line.
Yeah, he's taking away. He's slow.
That's right.
The guy, if you want to move somebody up to that first line, put Bolduc up there.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I do?
Give the kid the chance to prove he belongs in the league. Put him up there.
Yeah, and I think you're going to agree with me. I think at this point in his career, especially the way he plays, Saad is a 3rd line player at best.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
Yep.
Right.
And I don't know if this is Bannister wanting to make those moves or if Armstrong said we need. Normally, I know Armstrong tendencies well enough to know normally he doesn't get involved in that kind of stuff. But there are times where he has said, hey, I think we need to change the lineups up, and why don't we move some guys down and maybe do this? But he normally, which I like about Armstrong, he normally will let a coach.
Well,
but,
I like it. For me, I go back and I know movie or whatever, but based on real life, you think about the movie Moneyball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that if Art Howe had gotten on board with what Billy Beane was trying to do, that team would have won a World Series. They would have won a World Series.
Yep.
But Art Howe never got on board until he was forced to.
Yep.
And by the time he was forced to, even then, he still had Bradford not starting at first base where Bradford should have started. He had him as a utility guy. And there's other things that were issues if Art Howe understands what's going on. But Art Howe constantly kept saying, the lineup card is mine. The lineup card is mine.
Yep.
The lineup card is mine.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I'm so I don't think that Armstrong's going to interrupt the lineup card.
No, he's not.
But I do think that he may say, hey, I'm working on this or doing this, or what do you think about that? Or, gives his 2 cents. I've seen how he watches practice. Watches practice.
Yeah, I have too. I have too.
He is intent. He watches from an office.
Yep.
Right? That's a hidden office. I've seen this.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this too. I don't know if he takes a lot of notes. He writes a lot of stuff down.
He watches what, like, you could see
his mind working.
The laser beams coming out of his eyes.
You can see his mind working as he's watching practice. Yeah. Yes.
Right.
And a lot of GMs don't do that. And he doesn't take everything from practice. But I think it's good for a GM to get and see how his team is bonding and how his team does in practice. I think that's important.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think, to me, the guy that a GM should be watching in practice is the coach.
Yeah, and yep. And you know what?
That's the guy the GM should be watching in practice. No,
and during a lot of people think the GMs just watch players during practice. They watch the coaching staff too.
I think Thomas and Butch overpass sometimes. Can't pass the puck until it causes a turnover instead of shooting. That's what's happening sometimes when they get, and that's quite a possibility.
Yeah, it could be.
But I do think, I go back and I look at some of the quote unquote shots. Everyone's yelling shoot, shoot, shoot. Yet you look at the last couple of games and how many of the blue shots have been blocked.
Yep.
Right.
Well, it's like
you're all yelling shoot, but you're shooting into a blocked lane.
Yep.
So what good does that do you? It's not helping you. You have to have that open lane. I'm okay with the passes. Where I struggle is when you have a 5-man team and you have 3 guys battling for the puck, and that third one is just standing back. He's not forward. He's just back. So if the puck goes left or right, which is where it's probably going to go, he's not going to get it.
Yep.
Right? Trifoli's getting traded. Yeah, possible.
Yeah. And I'm going to give everybody an update. I don't know if you've heard anything from your sources. No. I know who your sources are. I will tell you this. There's nothing close on Buchnevich because Armstrong is sticking to it. Like I said 3 weeks ago, he wants 2 number ones. And if anybody wants him to retain salary, he's going to want a number 1 prospect or another number 1 draft pick. And nobody's offered him close to that. Yeah, so I know a lot of people expected Buchnevich to be out tonight. It should show you there's nothing imminent. He's still working on it with 2 teams. But I think I'm with you, Guy. They either do one of 3 things, and I'll put them in order what I think is going to happen. He gets traded at the draft. He gets traded at next year's trade deadline. And I think the least likely is they re-sign him. But, you never know with Doug Armstrong what he's going to do.
For me, whether or not he gets re-signed is going to depend on one thing, basically. The level of the cap the next 2 years.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Right? So he'll know prior to the draft day what the cap is going to be.
Yeah. Hey, can I let you go? I got to hop in real quick and I'll get back on in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
So he'll know at draft day what this year's cap's going to be. And then somewhere around late November, early December, when the teams have their meetings, I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a really good move. And I'm kind of pissed at myself for not seeing it sooner because his family was living in Florida. And I just didn't think he would go. I didn't think that either team had the cap space, but I guess Florida had more cap space than I realized. Right? And that's what it came down to. And Florida's chasing a ring this year. They're ready to win a ring. They're ready to win their cup. The Panthers are ready to. I don't know if they already have 1 cup, but if they don't, they're ready to win it. I don't think the Panthers have a cup. For some reason, I don't think they do. Flow, Florida. Don't. Oh yeah, they don't have a cup. They've been to the cup twice, but they don't have one. They've been to the finals twice, but they don't have one. I'm not seeing it, man. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. I think that's what they're doing. I think this is they're going for it. They're absolutely going for it. Rat trip. Jason says Florida went in the '90s and lost to Colorado. Yeah, they've gone twice, so they just haven't won. And I think that's where they're at. I think the last year's taste makes them feel like we're there. We got to go back. So I'd love it they do. So if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, please give me the like J.M. Davis, Matt Park, Justina Iguido, Daniel, and Jason Nichols. I can't know what my view numbers are. I got to kind of guesstimate because X now gives me a cumulative total, not the actual total. So it's showing that on my X account, 107. It's been viewed 172 times. That doesn't mean there's 172 people viewing it right now. So that's a fake number. So 6, 7, 8. Now I got about 10 people watching as we get ready to go. I know Vadimar was here, Rav was here, Shockey was here, Nichols was here, E was here, AC was here, Aaron was here, Jason and Aaron just threw their thumbs up. Thanks, buds. Appreciate it. Hope Gina's well. Oh, and I got to say this. Big thank you to you guys. Yesterday, I jumped on somebody else's podcast. I got to tell you, yesterday was a bad day for me mentally. I was in a really, really bad spot. This guy reached out to me, asked me, if I'd go on his podcast. I said, yeah. I shared it. He had nobody talking until I shared it. And then you guys all jumped in with fear of fervor. And I appreciated that. I really, really did. I appreciated each and every one of you for jumping in like that and getting out there and getting on and helping me out. I really, 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 I don't know what else I could say. I appreciate it. Really did. Right. Well, here we go. Blues versus Devils. Puck drop in just a few moments. We need to tear up Nika Dawes. We need to eat them up. Beat them up, beat them up, beat them up, up, up. Beat them up, beat them up, beat them up, up. I said that. Puck drop. Blues need this game. They need this no matter what. And down and dirty, they need this. Good support. Good support. I like defensive support there. Do I have faith in the Blues making noise next season for? Yes, I do. Absolutely. I do, actually. Probably more than most people. Travis Keenan, this is his second game as coach, and he lost his debut, so. Oh, bad pass there, Thomas. Oh, wow. Wait. Oh, bad. Oh, my goodness. Bennington saved the goal. Bennington. 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 Oh, that was bad. Falk just misplayed that off his skate so bad. And Bennington said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not today. That was ugly. There's Walker. Nobody with him. This is what I talk about. Walker's speed. He gets in there and there's nobody with him. So why not put him with fast guys like Bull Duke and like Neighbors? Yeah, Falk just misplayed that so bad. So we should be close with the time of watching the game. Don't forget, I'm doing my trade deadline show tomorrow. I'll probably post it tonight. Giving you guys 3 hours tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it. And Hughes is robbed by Bennington. $10 seconds? Okay, that's not bad. That's doable. Bolduc going to take this face off. Come on, Bolduc, show you can win a face off. Yep. Way to go, Bolduc. There we go. Come on, Bolduc, show them what you got. Nothing. Wonder what number Tarasenko's going to wear. I think they showed it today and I didn't remember seeing it. Got to go back and look. Somebody sent me a video today. Who was it that sent me that video today? I think I remember. Letty to the box. No, it wasn't him. Who was it? Who sent me that? Maybe it was this person. No, it wasn't him. Somebody sent it to me today. I know they did. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Someone sent it to me today. Thought it was him. Oh, so far the penalty kill looks good. Got the Hughes brothers there playing a little bit of catch. Here we go. Oh, wow. That could have been another tripping call. Are you guys there with me? Wow. Oh, well. I mean, good penalty kill so far. Oh, wait a minute. I remember where it was. Hold on. Oh, here it is. At practice, he has no number. I knew somebody sent it to me. I just couldn't remember who. I know who now. Yes, I'm watching the game. Thank you, Sister JJ. Good penalty kill. Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. That is correct. I don't know exactly how many games, but it's been a few. Oh, he whipped that towards way too fast, way too hard for Kairu. Oh, I thought they scored there. Chasing the puck. Ooh, good shot from the Blues finally. I think my internet's acting funky today. So far, around the league as we're in a commercial, Maple Leafs and Bruins are tied at 0. Same with the Flyers and the Panthers, and the Flames and the Lightning. The Caps lead the Penguins 1-0, and the Blue Jackets lead the Oilers 1-0, and the Canadians are up 1-0 on the Hurricanes. Rock me like a hurricane. Damn it, I took a penalty minute and I didn't need to. Ryan Graves, why? 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 I don't need it. Hey, did everybody get their banking done? Come on, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go! Wow, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Well, very few people love me. Oh, you missed the rant, Aaron. Absolutely not. Makes absolute zero sense to me. Yeah, but here's the problem: you got to have the lanes. I mean, you can shoot, you can have attempts all day long, but if they're getting blocked or missing the net, it doesn't do you any good. You still got to find the lanes. Oh, I just don't see it, man. Yeah, offside. The Blues are capable of doing it. It's just they got to figure something out very quickly. Oh, there was a good shot on goal. Oh, Walker's played a little soccer there. No sense of just wanting to get the puck to the right guys. I mean, that's something that's been a big issue is people standing around, not moving. They need to be free to skate. And that's the thing. I think that the system that they're playing doesn't allow them the freedom to move. They gotta put in the triangle offense or total football. Put in total football. Yeah, me and Lance both did not. We're not on board with it. I've alienated so many people. I am sorry for that. Oh, this is scary right now. Kairu's got nobody with him and just has to throw it down because he wasn't moving his feet at the blue line. Shots are 7-3. We're just. Oh, there was a good little move. Glove saved by Bennington. Got it out of play, off the glass, and he makes a big save there. Let's leave all these Devils fans sad tonight. What do you say? Hmm. And Spectrum commercials get so bad. Oh, they get worse and worse and worse. Oh, I'm looking at something. There it is. I found it. There we go. Well, shots are 11-3, and this is just something that's plagued the Blues all year, not getting shots on net. Bad neutral zone play. That was bad. Letty, come on, man. No open lanes, nothing. Well, Hughes lost the puck there. Oh, and his brother just missed. Like a penalty on the Blues, going back to the box. Hooking or slashing? Slashing on Letty. Wow. Two penalties on Letty. Bad, bad, bad. Hughes to Bratt, to Luke Hughes, back to Jack Hughes. Gets down low to the circle, below the goal line, behind the net. Over to Bratt. Bratt back to Hughes. Hughes all the way up towards the blue line at center ice. Ah, there we go. Jack Hughes made that happen. And Timo Meier puts it in. Ouch. Yeah, they did. They got rid of their coach a couple days ago. This is their second game with the new coach. That was bad. Yeah, ouch is right. Watch when the other teams come out of watching the Devils come out of the zone. Notice they always have a guy that's open when there's no one. They always have a guy open. Always have a guy open, and he's able to move the puck through the neutral zone without any interference. There you go. There it is again. Well, there's our guy. Okay, Kaepernick, but nobody's with them. Luke's not in the right spot for a throw around puck. Yeah. Our player just glide and puck watch. Yeah, Jason, I'm seeing that tonight. I'm absolutely seeing that tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's not, the problem isn't not taking shots. The problem is getting into the zone. They're not getting into the zone and getting anything set up. It's going into the zone and then coming back out, going into the zone, coming back out. You know, you got to get in the zone and get something set up. That's how you take shots. They're relying on the rush and they're not getting any rush. Being outshot 14-3. 14-3. Mother effer. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I don't know about drawing penalties, but here's the thing. Cairo takes the puck down there and there's nobody with him and he ends up losing a battle 2-1 and then everyone bitches about Cairo losing the puck. Yeah, Ryan? God, I don't like Sod on that line at all. Don't like Sod on that line at all. Hey, Wendy. Damn it. Yeah, they're just not there. These guys aren't playing tonight. They're just not playing tonight. This is going to be a stinker. Bennington's going to get tore up tonight, and it's not on him. Yeah, Jason, I'm with you now, especially tonight. 5 guys right there doing nothing. And Letty in the wrong place again, blocks it to their player. Blue Jackets are up 3-0 on the Oilers. Meyer with 2 straight goals. This is bad. Yeah. That only works if you can win the the forecheck, but when you're not, and it immediately goes the other way. Here we go. Come on, Walker. Oh, we're getting a penalty now. Lance is trying to get in, but I guess he's having some issues. I'm with you, Jason. Good hip check there by Walker. Why? That was a good hip check. They need to connect on this. Absolutely need to connect on this. Need a one-timer. Need a one-timer so bad. There. Oh, he hit the post. Oh, he missed a wide open net. He had it. Wide open net itis. Wow, that. Nobody moving. Nobody moving. Wow. Wow. Too many games to see not ready to play from the jump with two different coaches. Yeah, that's on players. I'll admit it. This is horrible, man. This is just not understanding the situation at all. Maybe we get Lance back. And that's the end of the period. We're down by 2. And we only got, I don't know if this is right, but 3 shots. Wow. Are you there, Lance, man? I don't know. Oh, man. Tough period. Tough game to watch. I mean, not what you would expect, not what you want, but it's what you're getting. Just bad, real bad. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still not of the ilk that you trade. Well, I see him. I don't know if I can. Maybe not today, Win. Maybe not today, bud. Oh, Lance is going in and out. Yeah, Kyrie missed a wide open net. I'm sorry you cannot tell me with a serious face based on how these last few games have gone that the season isn't over. It's getting there really quick in my book. Getting there really quick. I don't know if we don't have as much talent as everybody thinks we have. I think we have talent. I just think it's I don't know. I can't tell you why our talent isn't coming through. Lance is trying to come in, but he's having some issues. Oh, don't trade Bushnevich tomorrow. No, Darkness. No, don't lump yourself in with that. That is a mistake. Why trade him? What are you going to get? What are you going to get that is so great that you would give up Bushnevich? You would give up this player. In fact, pay his salary for a year. You're going to end up paying his salary for a year. Why would you do that? That's the point that I can't get. It's absolutely a mistake. No, he's not. He's playing. He's on the second line. How many players have we locked up on the wrong side of 30 for 8 years? Tell me one player that we locked up on the wrong side of 30 for 8 years. Tell me one. This is the misinformation of Blues fans. Tell me one. Tell me one. Come on. Parayko. Nope. When we locked Parayko up, he was under 30. In fact,
I don't know what's going on.
I think he's 30 now. Hold on. Parayko's 30. He's 30 now. He's 30 now. So we locked him up before he was 30. This is the second year. Right? So 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. We have him signed till he's 36. I disagree with that one. And Parayko's played out freaking standing this year, Darkness. Parayko's had one of his best seasons. No, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I disagree. It could be. I'm doing a trade deadline show. If you want to join me, Wendy, coming on at noon Central Time. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, Wendy. I'll probably post that show tonight and then put the link out there. We have Falk, Shen, Krug, Kyrou, Thomas, Parayko, and Bennington all until 27. That's not a bad list of guys. Am I right? Yeah, we do. I think that's right. Till 27. Let's see here. Kairu till 26, 27, to the end of 27. Kairu, Thomas, Shin, Walt, Krug, Pareko. Letty is only till 26. And Bennington till 26. That he would be a UFA after that. Right? Are you back there, Lance?
Yeah, I'm back. For some reason, it didn't like my Bluetooth headset.
Oh, no issue. It happens. Wondering when Tyler Johnson gets traded. I don't know. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow might be busier than people think. Krug and Shin are rapidly declining. I'm okay with the rest of them. Yeah, I can understand that, Jason. Right? I can understand that. And you got young guys coming up in the system, and I think that's the other part of this. There are some young guys coming up. I'll be surprised if Scandella's a Blue tomorrow. I really would. I think somebody would overpay for him. Right? I don't know, but we'll see. I'm not on the ilk of trading Bushnavis. I don't think it's the right move. I don't think you're going. I actually think that as a rental, he might have a better upside than has a guy with another year left on his contract.
No. Every team wants him because of that 1 year left on his contract. That's what makes him so valuable, as opposed to some of these other guys who people have given a lot for. Trust me,
I'm just not sold on paying his salary for half of his salary next year.
The only way they're going to do that, the only way is if he gets 2 first rounders and another first rounder or a top tier prospect.
But any team, here's the other thing. Any team you make the trade with, it's got to be dollar for dollar. We can take the dollar out. They can't take the dollar in. So we got to take somebody that they don't want.
No. There's teams out there. I mean, look at what Toronto did. They put a guy on LTIR and then put another guy on waivers to be able to get Edmondson to be able to.
Yeah, but they're going to eat that next season. That puts them in like we're eating some salary next season because of Varna, right? When you take a guy that's on a one-way contract and you waive him and then drop him, you eat salary for that. We're going to eat some penalty.
Verona doesn't have a contract next year. It's Kapanen that's got
this
a contract
year.
next year.
We sent him down this year. We're going to eat, because we sent him down on waivers this year, we're going to eat penalty next year.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are. Look,
no,
go look.
Not.
Lance, look at it. I'll bring it up right now. He's already listed as buried penalty. 1.45. That's what's buried for next year. That's going to count against us next year. We're going to take a hit on that, I think.
No, we're not.
Right?
I guarantee you we're not.
Okay. I think I could be wrong, but maybe it just hits us this year, but I'm going to take a golden platter to get Bush.
That's what I just said.
They aren't going to give it. I could see that. What would you give Bush for? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, straight up. That's the deal I do. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You want Bush, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Blues wouldn't do that.
Oh, absolutely they would.
No, they
Edmonton
wouldn't
do it.
Armstrong does not want a player that's going to cost him a bunch of money in the next couple of years or in the next year, next 2 years. He wants young players, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is not a young player.
I think he's only 27.
If the Blues would have, if the Blues were interested in trading him piece for piece for another player, he had already been traded.
Hold on.
Because the Rangers offered a player in return and draft pick.
RNH, hold on. RNH is 5.125 million, and I will say this: he's got a full no move clause.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, he's got a no movement clause.
He's
Yeah,
not going anywhere.
But that's what I would take, right? I wouldn't take Evander Kane. He's got 2 years left at 5.1. Hyman's probably got a full no movement clause. Yeah. All modified. I just can't. Like, I don't want. I mean, I've heard Cody Cece as a right defenseman who's 30, and I'm not for that. Right?
No, he's declined, even though he's only 30. He's
right.
No.
Even I've heard Evan Bouchard mentioned. I'm not for at 24. I don't think.
No.
He's what, a sixth defenseman, fifth defenseman, maybe. I don't know, man. So.
I've still been trying to wrap my head around the Sunquist.
I just can't do it. Buchnevich doesn't equal RNH. If you could always move the contract to the Blackhawks, we have 42 plus million in cap space, so we can do a 50% retention. Yeah, and I don't like that at all. I know you could, but yeah, and like in a 3-way deal, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those. Not a big fan of those at all, Wendy. And I get what you're saying, but I'm just not a big fan of those. We're already in cap. Actually, he's less than Buchnevich. Just longer, and he has that full no movement clause. He'd have to waive that.
Here's the problem. I think you take Ryan Nugent-Hopkins away from Connor McDavid.
He doesn't play with Connor McDavid that much.
He does from time to time. I think if you take him
on the
off
power play, I think he does.
If you take him off that team, he's not the same player.
Yeah, that trade's not happening. Bush for Bernard. Looks like Tarasenko has his old glove from St. Louis on. Oh, really?
Yeah, I got into it a little bit last night on Facebook.
What number is he wearing?
Number 10.
Oh, he's wearing 10. Ooh, that's interesting.
I got into it last night with people trying to tell me that because he played in Ottawa, he was going to have to get a special visa, and it was going to take 2 to 3 weeks before he could play for Florida. And I said, "You're wrong."
He's he's got a green card.
I said he's gonna he'll be playing on Thursday or he'll play Saturday. It's not going to be 2 to 3 weeks.
He's playing today.
And of course, when I was proven right, nobody said it. So
yeah, no, he has a green card. He lives in the States.
That's right. He lives in Florida. He's got a house in Florida.
Yeah, he bought a house in Florida. I think he's in the Miami area, but I'm not sure.
He's
Miami or Tampa Bay.
He's close he's close enough to where it's not a far drive for him to go to the rink.
All right. Like, that's why I'm mad at myself that I didn't realize that Florida would be a good spot for him because
yeah. They've been
Tarasenko is a huge family man. Yeah. Huge family man. Right? Send a picture on Twitter. Okay. Hold on, Wendy. What did Wendy send me?
Picture of Tarasenko's gloves, probably.
Oh, yeah, he is wearing his Blues gloves. Yeah, wow. I may have to show that. Look at that. Look at that. Those are his Blues gloves. Can you see it, Lance?
That doesn't look like the last pair of Blues gloves he wore with the Blues.
Yeah, it does look like the last pair, right?
I don't think so. The last pair he wore with the Blues were blue and yellow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those aren't his Blues gloves. And I know people that have bought his used Blues gloves from the store. At the
they
end
got
of the year.
91 on it. They got his number 91 on it. I can't see the 91, but I could see that. That could be what he was wearing in Edmonton, but not that color.
You mean Ottawa?
I don't think he would wear that color in Edmonton.
You mean Ottawa?
But man, this is today's game. The Blues are just bad, man. This is really not bode well for Bannister.
Right? Well, they had from the time he was hired that Armstrong told him that they're going to be looking for another coach, that he was not going to be considered for the job.
And then they should have already found that coach, because that's I think that could be an issue right now, is these guys aren't listening to Bannister, because why should they? Right? And that's what happened when you had Yo. When you brought Yo in and you had that coaching waiting bullshit, and that stuff doesn't work. Yeah, I do. I'm human. I make mistakes. Oh, okay. I see it now. If you look here, see where his name is?
Yeah.
Right there, it says it.
Yep.
So those might be a pair of his Blues gloves. Or Rangers gloves. I don't think the Rangers wore that color, that dark color, though, did they?
No.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're about ready to come back, so.
That was a bad goal to give.
Yeah, it was really bad. Not on Bennington, but on the team.
No, not on Bennington. But, another guy that hasn't looked good, and again, he looks bad tonight, is Falk. I'm sorry. I honestly think Falk has looked worse this year than Krug has.
Could be a pair from 2019. Blues got to score early. If they don't score early, this game's over. Got to score early. Got to get an early goal. Outshot 16-5. And
yeah,
right
and
now there we go. I'm updating now.
It's like you and I said from even last year. The main problem with this team is not the defense. The main problem with this team is secondary scoring and consistent scoring. That's the problem with this team. That's why I don't understand why everybody wants to trade Kyrou for a bag of pucks.
Yeah, no, it's the offense.
It's the
neutral zone play. They don't get into the zone. It's not that they're not taking shots. They're not getting shot lanes. They're not getting the puck in and setting up a cycle and getting any lanes that allow for shots. When you're taking in 5 shots, that's great. They had 5 that were blocked and 7 that missed the net. If half of those get through, now the number doesn't look so bad. You're looking at 10 shots. You're still outshot 16-10, but you're looking at 10 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's got anything clear. No one's skating around enough to get away from guys. And I think that's been a big issue that I haven't seen or watched enough. Oh, there we go. We're getting a penalty now. There was an interference or a hold there on. Yep.
And, I know everybody wants Bolduc to be up here full time and everything. If you're going to keep him up here full time, give him minutes. He's played in 7 games and averaged 10 minutes a game. Because down in the AHL, He can get 20 minutes a game. He needs
he
more minutes. It's stupid to keep
I
him up
agree with
here
you.
and give him 10 minutes. It's just stupid.
Oh, I agree with you. And that's why I think he needs to be on the second line with Walker and Neighbors. And I'm sorry, that line will work. That line will work because what those two guys have in skill makes up for what Walker lacks.
You mean
and
the
what Walker
third?
has in speed makes up for what he lacks in skill.
Do you mean the third line?
No, second line.
Walker does not deserve second line minutes.
It's not what Walker deserves; it's what he can bring.
It doesn't matter. Any other team, Walker's a fourth line guy or in the AHL. But all of a sudden with the Blues, he's this great person who needs to be on the second line. Walker has no business being on the. If you've got an injury or shift him in and out, but he has no business being a permanent fixture on the third line. Just doesn't.
Oh, Kyrou got stopped. Puck's loose. Come on, do something with it. Somebody get around to it.
Something.
Nope, it's going to go all the way down.
Yep.
Nobody there. Again. Kyrou can't take a one-timer.
Hey.
Oh, I'm starting to get upset at Kyrou this game.
Here's another reason why the Blues could have got Sundqvist cheaper if they wanted to get him. Like I said, nobody offered him a contract last year but the Blues.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to offer him a contract this year except maybe a PTO or maybe, a 775,000, 800,000. Sundqvist said, it's my plan the whole time. I want to be part of a team. I didn't want to abandon and leave. I wanted to stay here to help this team become successful.
Yeah.
Well, if the Blues knew that, then shame on them for signing him this early because they could have got him for much cheaper.
Yeah. Blues had an opportunity and just blew it. Dawes is looking like freaking Patrick Waugh tonight.
The Blues always make goalies look.
1.5 by 2.
He was making
next year. He got a $3 million extension for over 2 years, so 1.5 for 2.
And Wendy, he was making $725 last year, so they gave him 100% raise.
$775, just under a double.
So they gave him just under a 100% raise, which is just asinine. Thank you, Jason.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
Yeah, we've got at least 4 or 5 guys that would be fourth line guys or AHL players. Yes, Wendy, that's an overpayment.
Yeah, I agree. Boy, they're just
and here's another thing. You sign him when you didn't have to sign him this early. You could have got him for probably cheaper in free agency. Plus, you're also looking for a new coach. Who says this new coach wants Oscar Sundqvist on his team?
Yeah. This team is just.
They've given up, is what it is.
Yeah, this game they have. I think all the trade deadline noise has just bothered the fuck out of them. Knuckleball been disabled. I thought he lost it, but he didn't. God, he's been the best player this year.
So, Wendy, are you being a little facetious
there? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, talking about Vlasic's contract extension. Yep, that's what I've said, Wendy, for now 3 or 4 years now.
When is the general manager ever responsible for the success of a team?
A lot of times.
A lot of times they are.
Well,
Can we
you
trade
can
Armstrong? No, you can't trade him.
you can be responsible for success, or if you're Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan front office, you can be responsible for why the Maple Leafs never have won the cup in the last 5-6 years.
Who was that in Montreal? Who was the GM in Montreal? Wasn't that Shanahan?
Bergevin,
Huh? Bergeron, yeah.
Bergevin for years.
Yeah. Mark put it in my own net, Bergevin.
Mm. I can't tell if you're joking because I don't see him getting a lot of money. I just don't. Was he got 13 points this year? Let me look it up. Let's see. All right. So far this year, he's played in 57 games and has 2 goals and 11 assists.
Yeah. 14 points. No,
Yeah.
13 points.
And a -6. He'll get a new contract, but I don't think he's going to get a big one. I think they'd be stupid to do that. He's a big guy. I think he's 6'5" or 6'6", but I don't know. I would give him a decent contract, but I wouldn't give him a huge one. I would give him some kind of bridge deal to see if he's going to continue to be, if he's going to grow and be better. Just because he's 22 and a young defenseman who's had some good, some good parts of his career this year with the Blackhawks. I don't know. I wouldn't.
The one thing that the salary cap did is it took away the back end contract, right? Where it happens in the NFL a lot, where the player has all this money on the back end, and basically he never gets to see that money because they release him before they have to pay it.
Yep.
Right. The NHL took that away. There's a penalty when you do that, where the NFL, that penalty is not that big. And then the NFL, the way they are, the NHL with the AAV, even if you did that, it's still the same AAV, so it still hits you one way or the other. I mean, you sign a guy to a 8-year, what do you call it? 8-year, let's say 8-year, $80 million contract. So $8 million, or what is that? $10 million a year, right? And you pay him $1 million for the first 7 years, and then the rest of it at the last year, thinking you're going to get out of it. Doesn't matter. That AAV, that hit still hits. It's still there. And the $9 million that you're not paying him still counts against your cap, so it doesn't help you.
And you can also backload them a little bit, but you can't do like they used to do. There's guys that make $8 million, $7 million, and the last year they'll make $9 million, something like that. But you can't backload it like they used to do.
Well, it's the AAV because that's all that matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. I mean, a team may have to play that player. A player in that last year, having $72 million, $73 million left on it, would still have to pay. They'd have to pay that, but the only thing on their cap would be the $10 million or the $10 million, right? So that's the only number that really, really matters is the cap hit.
The cap hits. The AAV doesn't matter to me. It's the cap hit, and people don't. People will say like this player's only making $5 million. That's his cap hit, but his AAV is $7 million.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making $7 million, but his cap hit is 5.5 or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's what it's cap hit is the important number. This is uninspired play tonight. Absolutely uninspired play. You're being outshot 22-10 halfway through the game. Torpachinko and Walker, the only two guys out there playing tonight. The only two that I see out there playing are Torpachinko and Walker.
I'm just glad that Sanford is on the Blackhawks and not the Blues.
Yeah. But I thought they released him or they waived him.
He's still on their roster.
Oh. Oh, off the punt. There we go. We got one finally. Not sure who got it. Was that Saad? Who I sat today, of course. Saad scores when I sit him. Yep. They switched the lines up. Put Saad back down.
That's where he belongs.
Yeah. Brunovich to Saad, yeah. Well, that gives us a little bit of a chance, but let's see if that wakes them up at all. Bennington, big save. I don't think he even seen it. I think that one found him. So Bolduc, Shin, and Neighbors. So they put Bushnevich back up. They put Bushnevich up on the top line, dropped Saad to the third line, and also moved Bolduc up. Because Bolduc was on the third line. No, Bennington doesn't get rested. That's not going to happen, Jason. Not going to happen, Jason. Unless he's hurt. Not going to happen. Yeah, it was Saad's goal. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, Lance. I'm wearing a commercial right now. Well, we're all watching the same feed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, David, I saw that. I've actually thought about buying that because since I can't, really play goalie anymore, it would still keep me a little bit active and I could do it. I think my son is thinking about buying it for me.
We have a new place here that has like the virtual reality like screen set up and things where you can like shoot a puck at a goalie or do that. I may set that up. I do an hour for my own, just for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I got to see how much it is to do it just for an hour.
I don't think Jaromir Jagr likes me, my picture of him in the background. He keeps falling off my wall. Fuhr stays on, Hall stays on, Gretzky's on the other wall, and I got a couple other ones. But yeah, for some reason that Jagr, it just doesn't like staying up on the wall.
Kid on a dodgeball team. No.
Well, we didn't call it dodgeball when I was in high school. We called it something that's very politically incorrect today. It's a word that rhymes with smear and starts with a Q.
Oh yeah. No, we never called it that.
Oh wait,
Not that I know of.
All going through school from when I was 7, 8 years old up through high school. That's what everybody called it. And now all of a sudden it's too violent. It teaches kids to be violent. I thought it was fun.
I mean, see, you and me disagree on some of this. You know, I see some of these people go out and talk about Gen X and how, you know, we survived all this shit. We're damn lucky we did. That's the point. Just because we survived it, it's that old thing. Well, it's the way we always did it. Doesn't make it right. And that's the end of my political.
Yeah, here's the problem.
There.
We had common sense. Our parents taught us common sense.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. We didn't have as much common sense as
yeah. But at least my parents did.
Yeah, well. They let us play with jarts. We didn't have that much common sense.
Yeah, and none of us got hurt. Ever.
A lot of us got hurt.
Never.
I mean, you may not have, but the percentage of people that got hurt was pretty high. And how many people lost their eyeballs because someone shot it out with a BB gun?
Well, that's just stupid. You don't have BB gun battles. That's just idiotic.
Right? I mean,
you can die a hammer. You can dodge the ball.
Yeah. That's like one of the few like comedy movies that I actually semi like. Who's the guy in that? I can't think of his name.
Oh, I can't either.
But the main guy, he plays in a lot of stuff like Will Ferrell does, but he's not. His comedy is online with Will Ferrell, but it doesn't go as far as Will Ferrell goes.
No. I can't think of his name. I can picture him and his dad. I can picture his dad who was in Seinfeld. Who played George Costanza's dad.
Yeah, I just can't.
I can't think of his name either. Dang it. What's wrong with me?
Right.
He was also in Reality Bites. He was also in
no, he was in The Intern. The Internship.
Oh, you're talking about Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn, that's it, yeah.
I'm talking about the other guy from the Night at the Museum, and I can't think of his name.
Yeah, that's not who I'm talking about. I don't have a problem with this stuff.
Vince Vaughn is a one-trick pony. Vince Vaughn is like what's his face from Jurassic Park, plays the crazy scientist. He plays every role the same character. Vince Vaughn does.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. That's who you're thinking.
Ben Stiller. Yeah.
Vince Vaughn to me, I like. Now, see, I don't have Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson does that too, but he does have a little bit of a. You can tell that he's got other chops, and if you've seen him, and I forget the name of it, the movie where he's the Navy pilot that gets shot down.
Yeah,
right.
I've seen it. Yeah.
That was a well done. He did really, really well in that.
Owen's a better actor and a much nicer person than his brother Luke. His brother Luke is a jerk.
Yeah. Well, Luke has played in a couple of movies with Will Ferrell, and he played in Old School with Will Ferrell, and I know he's played in others. But to me, Vince Vaughn is on the level of just under Will Ferrell. It's the same type of comedy, but he doesn't go as far as Will Ferrell does. And I can't stand. I will not watch a Will Ferrell movie. There's only one of his that kind of sort of got me, but I can't watch it anymore.
I only like him in it's the one where I told you about where he has a voice that narrates it as he's walking around town.
Oh yeah.
That's the only one I can
Stranger Than
watch.
Fiction.
Yeah, that's the only one I can watch, and I think that's his only really good movie. Right. The rest of them, I'm with you. I think his shtick got old really quick.
Yeah. Talladega Nights could have been a hell of a lot better than what it was. It didn't need some of the comedy it had and some of
No,
the
it didn't. It didn't.
some of the toilet humor that it was in it.
Yep. Something About Mary with the Coen brothers. I think the Coen brothers did Something About Mary with Ben Stiller.
Yeah, that wasn't. Ben Stiller was in that one. I didn't have a problem with that one, as much as everybody else does. But no, Will Ferrell. There's very few I can watch from him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Right. I'm sorry. I know people love him. I can't.
And you know who else?
Here we go. Bennington, just with that. God, he's so good at punching the puck. Yeah, they put Bushnevich back with Kyrou. Yeah, that little line change didn't last long.
It didn't work.
Oh! Oh, Bushnevich, a couple of good looks right there. Get him moved. Get him moved. Got a cycle here. And then Kyrou jumps Kyrou's stick. Damn it. Again, I can't watch his movie, so I won't even look at it. I've seen like some of the stuff in Daddy Hugh, in Daddy's Home too.
Yeah.
That scene where they make a big deal out of the son kissing his father. That, to me, that's done gross. It's done for comedy and it's gross. It doesn't, and it's not. I don't have a problem with the way they do it.
Yeah.
They make it gross.
They make it gross.
That's
by the
my
way they
issue
present
with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's just for me the over the topness that he does.
Yep.
I just can't deal with it.
That's a good thing. That's a good description of him. It's too over the top.
Yeah.
Another guy that
I honestly don't know. Wendy.
Yeah. Another guy is Jim Carrey.
I don't have a problem with Jim Carrey.
I like some of his movies, but some of them are really bad, like Mr. Popper's Penguins. That he should have never taken that role. That was just a stupid movie.
When you do comedy for comedy's sake, it doesn't work for me. Jack Black is one of those. Jack Black, some of the stuff that he does really, really works. Other stuff he does does not work. For example, I absolutely, positively love Nacho Libre.
Oh, yeah.
However, there are things in Nacho Libre that don't work. The over-the-topness doesn't work. And in some ways, he didn't need to use it. Will Ferrell had a solid movie that came out in 2020. I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it, but I wouldn't watch it just because he's in it. Talking movies, yeah.
Good point, David.
Will Ferrell is sick in the head. Yeah, you know who Will Ferrell reminds me of? I'm going to let you guys. Can you think of a former or a comedian who no longer is with us that Will Ferrell reminds you of? There's one that bounces right off the top of my head for me. Right? We'll see. It wasn't his normal comedy. It may not have been, but I can't watch him. Chevy Chase is over the top. I don't think Chevy Chase was that over the top. I don't think he was that over the top. He could be, but I don't think he was that over the top. Not like Will Ferrell does. Not Belushi, but in the same ilk. Not Belushi, but the same ilk.
Farley.
That's it. Farley.
Never liked him. Not one bit.
Yeah.
It was the same. Look at me, I'm a fat guy. Look at what I do as a fat guy.
Yeah.
It just it gets old.
The dumbness, always playing the dumb guy, right?
The
and
then
taking it to a new level. Oh, they don't give the D- that much, and Tommy Boy wasn't a bad movie, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
Right. I was okay with Tommy Boy. There was a scene where Chris Farley lost me Chris Farley was a Blackhawks fan. Not a big deal, okay? I get it.
Yeah.
There was a game, and I remember seeing it on ESPN. I was in Chicago at the time, and they showed Farley coming out on the ice and just flopping like a dead whale, right?
Yeah, I know.
And I knew right then and there he was on drugs, and he died within a year of that from a drug overdose. You just knew the dude was on drugs, and drugs don't make people funnier. I'm sorry. They think they do, but they don't. The guy, Doug Kinney from Mad Magazine, right? The stuff that he thought was funny when he was on drugs wasn't funny, right? And it hurt him. And it ended up, I mean, it's why they don't know if he fell or committed suicide.
Another guy that I wish didn't have a huge drug problem and would have lived longer was Mitch Hedberg.
I don't know who that is.
Mitch Hedberg was, you know who Stephen Wright is, the comedian?
Who?
Stephen Wright. He's an observational comedian, been around since the 70s.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was kind of like him, and he died of a heroin overdose. Yeah. Mitch Hedberg did, but he was really funny. He would, he would say stupid stuff like, "I used to do drugs, and I still do, but I used to." It's this conversation stuff like that, and he was funny. But in my mind, Saturday Night Live has not been watchable or funny for years.
Yeah.
It's gotten too political for me, and I don't like my comedy to be political.
Saturday Night Live has been political for forever.
Yeah, it's just gotten a lot worse.
Yeah.
I wonder if Walker being an Aussie,
shot.
I wonder if since Walker's an Aussie, if he's ever had kangaroo meat. I would imagine he has.
No, believe it or not, you cannot get kangaroo meat in. They're not. You can't get it. It's ouch. That was a hell of a goal. I think Bennington thinks he should have had that back, but that was a hell of a goal there. Back to a 2-goal deficit. That was a hell of a goal. Who was that? Was it Meyer? Yep. Timo Meyer got his hat trick. Hat trick against us. Just what we needed. Just what we needed.
Kangaroo meat is produced in Australia, eaten in Australia, and exported to over 61 markets.
Really?
Yep.
I thought they were on the endangered species list.
Nope. And there's 4 species of kangaroos that are exported. Do you know what I had once?
Because I know, like crocodiles, you can only get crocodile meat if you get it from a farm, right?
Oh, I can buy it online.
Crocodile meat, but it has to be farm raised. It's not.
No. There's a guy down in New Orleans that does boat tours, and he also catches crocodiles. And he sells them. You can buy the meat there and bring it up with you from New Orleans. You can have it shipped. He doesn't have a farm. He goes out and catches them.
Just cut the cable today. Goodbye, DirecTV. Uh-oh.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah.
See, I would say, Aaron, in that instance, I would say sweet mother of meat instead of son of a biscuit eater. But you're on the right track. One thing I've eaten, and people are going to hate me for this,
Right.
that I thought was good. And all you animal lovers, I'm sorry, I've had horse before in another country.
Yeah, horse, yeah. I haven't had
It's
horse.
a little
I've had all
gamey.
of that.
It's a little gamey, but it was really good.
People have eaten horse meat and don't know it.
Oh, sure they have.
Oh, I know they have.
Almost certainly.
Was used in dog food for a long time.
Long time. Yeah, long time.
Actually, that's what they figured out. That's what they figured out was creating a lot of was making dogs sick. There's a show on history called Food That Built America, and they brought up they did one on dog food on the dog biscuit. I forget the dog bone, the
milk
dog
bone
treat.
milk bone biscuits.
And then on Purina Dog Chow and all of that, how Purina was a feed company and got into pet food.
Yeah.
Oh, that
David,
was close.
Yeah, David, I have also had goat, and goat is eaten in a lot of countries.
Oh, goat is lamb. If you've had lamb,
Yeah.
you've had goat. Same thing.
Oh yeah, Mike Tyson's going to murder.
Yeah,
Jake
I'm not
Paul.
even worried about.
If people watch boxing and still think that boxing is not rigged, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, boxing completely.
For
rigged.
my
That's
days,
not. That's not going to be a sanctioned fight. I guarantee you that.
No, it's not. It's not. But boxing is rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. Over in Vietnam and parts of Korea and like Kuala Lumpur, they do eat dog. And I've also had some Mexican friends when I lived in California that their families down in Mexico ate dog.
Yeah.
In fact, they said a lot of the taco trucks around Baja California and Mexico
that's
City.
something that. Yeah. No, Wendy, that's something that came out today about there being a fight set up.
Yeah, Nick, Wendy, they are fighting.
I don't think they've set a date yet.
No. Yep, Korea. Yep. Kalgagi. Yep. It's very rarely, Guy. You and I might go off on another topic when we're watching a Blues game, but a lot of times it's got something to do with hockey.
Yeah,
but yeah, this
Today,
game is just
game just sucks.
This game is
there's
just
nothing to talk about. It's uninspired play. Why? I mean, if I wasn't on the show, I wouldn't watch this game. I'd have turned it off. This is uninspired. This is not what I want to see from my team, and it just seems from the get-go they weren't ready to come out and play, and they're not playing well together at all. And
can I just say that Leah Hextall is terrible? She's a terrible color commentator, and I don't know why they still put her out there on games because they don't hardly ever talk to her. I mean, Jamie Rivers does the same job for the Blues, and several times through the game they'll go down and talk to her. And when they do talk to her, she doesn't add any insight. I mean, I'm sorry, she just doesn't.
Can you just start up the trade deadline show? The thing is I don't know.
Yep, you're right.
I see players getting traded tomorrow. I just don't think that it's going to be what everybody thinks it is. You're going to be a big name or two, but I think it's going to be middling guys mainly.
It's going to be like today. Today's trades weren't near as big as yesterday's trades.
Yeah. And I told Wayne back on I think it was Monday that he said the trade that it'll start on Thursday, and I said no, it starts on Wednesday. I said it'll start on Wednesday, and that's when it started.
What do you mean, Robert? That I'll get canceled?
I think he's joking there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, about Leah Hextall.
I think there's a lot of people that will agree with me. In fact, there are a ton of people that I've talked to online that agree with me.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with her being a woman. Okay. I could care less if she's a woman or if the person's got 4 eyeballs and 3 legs. Know your hockey and add something to the broadcast. Oh,
goat. Isn't lamb goat? Isn't lamb a type of goat or
no?
Oh. I don't know. For some reason, I thought they were the one and the same. Well, 3-1 lead.
I know, Robert. I figured that might be what you're talking about, but you are right. I lost a couple people that called me a misogynist and said I just didn't like her because she was a woman. It's got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
I mute the TV when it's an ESPN broadcast. I have WN radio sneak up to the game on the TV.
Well, you know what I used to do as a kid? I would mute the TV broadcast and I would listen to the radio. And do that all the time with the Blues. All the time.
I had a old, like the square.
Sorry.
What?
Robert said. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would agree with that with you, Lance.
Oh yeah. Hey, I've got enough hate to go around, so just
I had one of those old white like square radios that had the two
Yeah.
dials on it.
Yep.
Right, and in the one little speaker on top.
Yep. On top. Yep.
Yeah, and I would turn KMOX and listen to the games on KMOX and all of that. To me, that's exactly where sports belonged on KMOX.
Yeah, it was just.
See, what I really loved is at night, I could get KMOX in Chicago at night.
Oh, we took trips to Florida as a kid.
Yeah.
And we could get KMOX all the way down to the upper panhandle of Florida. And if we ever went to like Texas or Oklahoma, we could get it all the way out there too. And I've known people that when they used to have the powerful wattage at night, they were picking it up in Nevada.
Maybe not Nevada, but I know you could get it up to Colorado. So like prior to Denver getting the Rockies, there used to be a lot of Cardinal fans in Denver, right? There used to be a lot. In fact, throughout the Midwest, you would see a lot of like down towards Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. You'd have a lot of Cardinal fans because of the reach of KMOX.
A lot of them in Georgia. My wife's got family down in Georgia, and they're all Cardinals fans, not Braves fans.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Memphis for a while, and you would see more people wearing a Cardinals cap than you would see them anything else, right?
Yeah, David. In fact, that little push-button football game from Mattel or whatever it is.
Yeah, a little handheld video game.
My mom still we just had little
Yeah,
lines
no,
in it.
they had a hockey one.
Yeah, and I always played the football one. My mom still has that, and it looks brand new because my mom would never let us get our toys dirty. Never.
Yeah.
Yep, little red dashes.
That's like the original video game.
Yep.
Cubs still all over because of WGN, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you have a lot of the bigger teams, a lot of the bigger name teams, because of some of the superstations. WGN was one, KMOX was one, WNDC out of New York was one.
TBS was a superstation.
Yeah, well, that's TV. I'm talking radio.
All right.
The clear channel, the AM stations that really, the 50,000 watt AM stations, that's how New York, the Yankees got their following. That's how the Cardinals got their following. That's how the Cubs got their following. There was one out of Pittsburgh that helped them get their following.
Yeah, David, you're correct.
Right. And simply because KMOX broadcast, that's absolute true. I mean, even with when the Giants and Dodgers and them moved out west to California baseball, their signals only went to the mountains, so it didn't come forward. So it didn't take away the Cardinals. The Cardinals had it for a long time. We're probably had the largest fan base for the long time. Oh, I absolutely do. I love seeing it on. I love seeing it on like the Pawn Stars or the antique shows when they go and somebody finds one. I love seeing it. I have my parents and grandparents got us a pinball machine when I was a kid.
Cool.
And it's a rare one, and unfortunately it hasn't been taken care of, and the paint's all peeling on it. But once I get back home, I'm going to take it out, get it out, get a couple of guys to help me get it out of the house, get it up, and I want to get it restored because I know for a fact it's listed as one of the most rarest pinball machines. It's called High Hand, and if you look it up, I mean, a one in pristine condition is they're 20-30 grand. Is
that the one that was based on a card game?
Yep. Based on poker.
I remember it. Yep.
Right, based on poker, and it was a rare game. There weren't a lot of them out there. My grandfather got a hold of one, and unfortunately, it's fallen into disrepair. I would spend the money to repair it because I think after repairing it, it would definitely be worth money.
I can remember living in Southern California as a young kid, like 4 years old,
Yeah.
before I moved out here, 5 years old, and I would listen to the California Golden Seals game.
Yeah.
Which used to shock me because at that time nobody talked about hockey in Southern California.
Yeah. It was when I checked on chips, and everyone, the first question a lot of people ask, who's your football team? Nah, I'm into hockey. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. During the playoffs, especially if the Blues were in, I would disappear during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always say I had a doctor's appointment or something and go to a place where I know I could watch the game.
Yeah. I remember begging my mom just to stay up late, to watch the Blues game. And I would tell her, I said, well, Mom, I said, I play games late. What's the difference between playing a game late and staying up and watching the Blues? There's no difference.
Yes and no. Yes and no. The problem with Canada is their cities aren't big enough. And that's all there is to it. You'll be mad to hear Connor Bedard Young Gun is the most expensive Young Gun rookie card ever. Also, there was a 1-of-1 printed card that someone put $1 million bounty on it.
Stupid. I used to collect cards, and the reason they were worth so much is, number one, kids got them and kids tore them up, and they didn't make as many. Now today, they make so many, and these poor people.
Well, they do a lot of them now. A lot of the manufacturers now have gone to making 1-of-1s or 1-of-10s. They've really gone to that, and then they put them in these mystery boxes where people, because there was a show on. There's a guy that does sports auctions, and I can't remember his name. He caters to the ultra rich, and they've done box openings and things like that when they get it.
Mm-hmm.
For cards and things like that. And it just, to me, short print cards. Yeah. It's not, to me, that takes, when you take something like that and take it out of the hands of the everyday man.
Yep.
You cheapen it.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. What are these people? Let's say the guy wants $1 million for his Bedard card. Let's say that somebody buys it. Let's say Bedard ends up being a very good player, but not this Wayne Gretzky-like talent. That card ain't going to be worth crap in 20 years.
Right. Well, think about baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this day, the one that put that out, they're the one that on that show I was talking about they ended up catching a 1-of-1 card.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up selling it to auction it off through this auction house, the sports guy that's out of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know who you're talking about, Wendy. I think I know who these guys are. They when they get boxes, they do videos where they open the boxes up. Right? Golden Auctions, that's it. Yes, that is it. Golden Auctions. Yes, that is who I'm talking about. And I'll tell you what, every time I've seen that guy on any TV, I think, what a dickhead.
Yeah, he's not, I wouldn't want to be around him.
Yeah. No different than the stock market, buy and sell at the right time. Well, you think about, you're right there. Think about all the home run balls, Mark McGwire home run balls, 69 and 70. That 70 ball sold for like $3.1 million. And the guy originally wanted to give it back to Mark McGwire, but something happened and, Mark didn't want to sign it or some shit like that. I forget what it was. But when it come down to balls, he sold it for the guy that bought it for 3.1. It's not worth nothing now. Especially after, and the Barry Bonds 70th home run ball isn't worth much. Right? Think about that. Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, all these home run hitters who we love so much, none of them are in the Hall of Fame. And they'll be in their 70s or 80s before they get in.
David's got a good question for us.
David says, what's each of your guys' favorite hockey memorabilia that you personally own? I've got a couple.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it.
I've got a couple. I think my number one would be my Plager Memorial Night jersey that's signed by Mike Hoffman and some others.
I got mine right here, and I bet
What's
you
yours?
nobody watching this has got one of these. It's a coin bank from the Cleveland Barons from 1974, brand new in the case, never
Oh
opened.
wow! Right. Somebody when I did the show when I was home in 21, and I did the show in at the sports store, and I can't think of the name of it now.
I can't either.
The sports store out there in O'Fallon or past O'Fallon, in O'Fallon, I think it was in O'Fallon. I did it at the sports store out there with Gary Unger and Mike Zook. Some guy had a bank, and he brought it out there, and Gary signed it and that.
That's cool.
Right? Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. For me, it was a really cool moment. Mine is between my Yager autograph Colando jersey and my Pat Foley 333 autograph jersey.
Yeah. I remember when Wendy got that signed. He got on the show, then I think the next day or 2 days later was talking about it. The Foley.
Wendy and mine pulled a Young Gun Bedard card the other day. Well, if he did, if it's that 101 card, it's worth the mill. Need the Blues to do something in the third. Come out and be different.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Nothing hockey, but my grandpa worked with Michael Spinks and had gloves signed by him. No idea whatever happened to it. Hold on, I'll show you mine. Let me see if I can show it. Give me a sec. You've seen mine, Lance.
Yeah. The Spinks family was huge in St. Louis, in East St. Louis. Huge. They just had some problems, some personal issues that really ended their careers early and their life early.
I've got Barrett Jackman on here.
Yep.
Got some other guys, Bruce Affleck. I got Mike Zook. Larry Petey signed it. Rick Zombo signed it. The one name that I don't have on here that I wish I did have on here is Unger's. Right? And Unger shocked me with what he did is he signed my cast. And I never expected that. So, that's the jersey that Hoffman wore at warm-ups prior to the game after Bobby Unger died.
Good one, Bob. Good one.
There you go. If you want to for your stream or mine.
A guy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Let's say Wendy got one. He got one of those cards. We don't hear nothing from him for about a week or two, and all of a sudden he's got this polished studio with producers.
Yeah. He'd forget us. He's like, I'll never go on your show again.
They'd be like, didn't you used to go on the Blue Note fan report with Guy Bensing? Who? No, I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah. Right. I figured out what's going on with the X views. They're cumulative. Not current.
I see.
So they're showing how many have at least watched 3 seconds of the video.
I see.
So that's what that is. Yep, that's the plan. He agrees with you.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's what I'm doing.
He wouldn't tell no there were signs. I was going to spend some time writing tomorrow. I was going to try it today, but I've been dealing with stuff. Hopefully this weekend. I think I'm settling on a name that I think I'm settling on the name Guy's Mental Shrapnel for my blog. And I want to write something about why that name is what it is. and why what mental shrapnel means to me. I think, David brought up something. Oh, maybe that's too military, and I don't think it is. I mean, we think of shrapnel as a military thing, but it's not. It's the little things that affect us on day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
everybody
what
gets
shrapnel is.
everybody gets hit with shrapnel every day, whether it's bad news at
You
a
know.
job, bad news at home, good news news can even hit you.
Yeah,
And it's,
we dodge shells. We dodge shells
Yeah.
all day long,
yeah,
and most of them, they're like cannonballs off the
Yeah.
USS Constitution, Old Ironside. You just bounce away. But it's the one what?
I did that analogy of the cannonballs bouncing off of the iron sides. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But when you see darkness, what do you think's going to come out of it?
Darkness.
What draft pick do you think we're going to get? I'll tell you right now, probably the best is the 15th. That might be the best.
He needs to go back and watch our pregame when we talk about that.
Yeah, watch the pregame, because he's one of those guys that thinks draft pick. We're going to drop so low in the draft pick, and the lottery is so great. No, it's not. Right? And I'm not there. I'm never going to want my team to lose for a draft pick. Never. I will never ever accept that. Right? I can't. I just not. It's not for me, and I'm not going to do it. Right? I just can't do it. You are welcome to your opinion. You're welcome to do that. I will disagree with you all day long, but you are more than absolutely, completely welcome to it. All right? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. I got a few other things to do. It's been
okay, bud.
Being able to come on, and everybody, thanks for coming on to the show tonight. Stick around for some more stuff from Guy, because I'm sure he'll.
Like you're getting worked up. Can we draft Baruby? But there's a difference with you, Wendy. Your team is already there. This is people that want our team to get there. And I don't. I don't understand that. That never makes sense to me. Especially as well as this team has done, drafting where they've drafted. That's the other part of it. Probably. Ugh. We don't have grain baking talent. And where are we going to get it? We're not going to lose enough to get it. That's the thing, Darkness. You want us to lose to get it when it ain't there to begin with, and we're not going to get there. No, you don't. No, you don't. And we have some high. You don't think Thomas is game-breaking talent? You don't think Bennington is game-breaking talent? Not with you, bud. Not with you on that. Yeah, too late. I don't care. Thanks, Dave, but yeah, when we did have the number one overall pick, I mean, we got a decent player, but he was decent for somebody else, not for us. Yeah, now with Lance being gone, I'll let you come in, bud. But it is a dynamic offensive team. It just hasn't been. That's the thing that people don't get. Bad play again. I sent you a link, Win. No problem, Win. Boy, I'm really boring you guys today. Oh, we got to do. Maybe we can do something on the pot. Oh shit! No. Oh wow. Yeah. No goal. So. Just goes to show you how bad things are right now. Hey, bud. You okay, man? Can you hear me, Wendy? Can you hear me, bud? I don't know if Wendy can hear us or not. There he goes. He popped out. So. Can you hear me, bud?
Okay, there it goes.
There we
First
go.
time I tried joining, it wasn't working.
Yeah. Oh man, they just cannot get shot through a lane at all. This is some really, really bad play.
It could be the fact the players are thinking what could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I think that's got a lot of people messed in the head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't trust the draft. All these people that want us to lose to get a low draft pick, I just don't trust it.
This
Right?
year's draft isn't like past draft, like last year's draft. You have the top 5 picks this year are probably the picks you're wanting to get, but it's going to be difficult for St. Louis's case because they've been fluctuating in the standings the way they have this year.
Well, I mean, if they won the lottery, it didn't matter if their number got picked. So first or second, the best they would probably get would be fifth right now. Sixth or fifth.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe fourth if you're lucky. Really lucky, but I don't see it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll tell you what, I think the coaches quit on him. I will say that, and I think the players have quit on the coach again. I don't know why, but it seems to have happened.
I mean, he is an interim coach. He won't be on St. Louis after this season.
Probably not, yeah. Probably going back to Springfield.
Yeah. He probably won't go back to Springfield, to be quite honest.
You don't think so? I don't think there'll be enough open
usually
jobs for
interim
him.
coaches that get moved into the NHL, they usually end up going to a different team afterwards.
They're just the people that think that the Blues don't have talent, that's the problem that gets me. I think the Blues do have talent. Right? Thomas is a top 25 player. Kyrie's a top 30, 35 player in my eyes.
I don't think so.
Where would you put him?
65.
I could see that. No, actually, you are not missing much at all. It's a bad game. The 3 games that they needed to win, 2 of them they've come out and played like junk. All right, played like junk. Hope your dad's feeling better.
Sounds like Jake Gensel will be officially traded to the Hurricanes in the next hour.
I know. Well, they've been making moves. They put some guys on waivers to clear up some room.
Ahead of the games today, the Penguins and Hurricanes have come to basically a trade agreement on Jake Gensel to the Hurricanes. Trade hasn't gone through yet, as the two teams are going to start playing in like 10 minutes before the trade started finalizing. So they decided to hold off on making the announcement until after the game. So we'll see another big name player off the board in the next probably hour to 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, Colorado. I do think Colorado's been way too active, but
Colorado is making smart moves, though. They haven't made like that big splash type move. They've made smart, like, hockey decision moves.
you know what, Robert? I'm starting to agree with you. I'm starting to move in that direction. Like I today when I read that Sundquist signing, I just shook my head. It makes no sense.
It's a
It
dumb contract when
absolutely
you told
makes
me it.
zero sense to me.
Yeah, when you told me what it was, I was like, that's a bad contract. I
It
think
just
St. Louis is going to be going through a GM and coaching change in the off season.
it starting to look that way. You know, he's the longest tenure GM right now.
Yeah, definitely. Probably it's time for a GM change. Just hope they don't go with one of the guys that are working for Helm.
I don't think they do. I think they go outside.
You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, the guy that you don't like, I forget his name.
Peter Chiarelli.
Yeah.
You do not want to have Peter Chiarelli as a GM. Could bring in Miguel. Scott Mellenby. He's been a candidate for a GM spot the last couple of years.
Didn't he play for us?
I know he played for the Panthers for a long time.
I want to say he played for us. Could Pronger
I think
replace
he
him?
might
That's
have.
a possibility. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. I would be okay with that. Pronger or McGinnis, because I know. Well, Pronger actually right now works with them, but as an advisor, he's got some other stuff going. But I could see McGinnis. Right? Yeah, he did. I thought so. I knew Mellenby played for us. Right?
Yeah, Scott Mellenby has been a candidate for being a GM the last couple of years. I know the Hawks interviewed him when the GM spot was open.
Yeah. This is a game you had to win, especially with the next two.
Who do you guys have next?
Huh?
Who do you
The
guys
Rangers
have?
and then Boston.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's going to be.
And then LA behind that.
LA's been a weird team lately, though.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to being back up in Chicago next week. Can't wait.
I will post that show today.
Okay.
And I didn't know if you knew this. If you wanted to, you could actually share the show to your
I know.
Channel if you wanted to.
Yeah, I know I could do that.
Okay.
On this stream, it's not showing me the option I could do it, so I don't know.
Oh, really? Because I got it yesterday when I was on somebody else's show yesterday. I got the option up there.
I think you just have to open that choice up to grant it.
I'll look. I thought I would have had it. I'll check my set. Where would it be? General?
Probably.
No. Guest. Here we go. Guests can stream to their. There we go.
There's the button.
You got it now?
Yeah.
I didn't have it clicked.
Okay, so it's just a button that you have to click. Might run to Target in the morning, get some hockey card packs, and have them ready for some stream because it's going to be a slow deadline.
Well, we're gonna. I got asked to come on 2 hours before and an hour after.
What's that?
2 hours before to an hour after.
Okay.
So a 3-hour show.
Okay.
And I'll post it tonight. Lance should be there. I'll be there. Wayne Hoffer.
Okay.
Wayne Harder. You know, he's kind of a fan of yours.
Okay.
He'll be there. And then if you wanted to come, so you were more than welcome.
Yeah, I was originally going to be on a different stream. Yes, that ended up falling out. The other guy had a thing happening, so
yeah.
I could join. Usually on deadline day, I'm doing a 6-hour stream, anyways, but decided not.
Yes, I did. I'm starting to look at this as on the GM issue, and I could and starting to think it might be time for a new GM. right? And go from there.
It'll be
Change
smart to
direction.
make it, for St. Louis's case at this point. They've had a ton of head coaches under Armstrong. I think it's time for a GM change. And the
Well,
fact
I
that
mean, it's not.
it's not
I mean,
just
you
that
had.
I'm talking.
It's not as bad as you make it seem. You
I'm not
had.
meaning it like that. I was going to also add to the fact he's been there for so long. He hasn't truly gone into a full rebuild or retool with
Yeah.
St. Louis yet. I think it's time for St. Louis to be in a retool. If they went full rebuild, I don't think it's quite there yet, but if they were if they were in this position still 2 years from now, they would have to tear it all down and do a rebuild.
Yeah.
At this position, they should do a retool.
Okay.
I think Armstrong's the wrong GM to have for it.
I might agree with that. Right. I might agree with that. I mean, Armstrong will have another GM job next year.
Oh,
right?
probably.
There's
Buffalo,
no
maybe?
doubt in my mind that somebody will pick him up.
Teams that I'm thinking that will have a GM vacancy: Buffalo, New Jersey.
Armstrong doesn't go to Buffalo. I could see him going to New Jersey. I see him going to a Canadian team if there's an opening.
If there's an opening up in a Canadian market, it could be Ottawa.
I think Buchnevich is here tomorrow. I don't see Buchnevich getting traded.
I think
I
he
really
does.
don't. Right? I
can
really
see
don't.
Buchnevich getting moved.
Huh?
I can see him getting moved.
I don't. I just that it's not a smart decision to move him. It's really not. In fact, if he does move him, I'd fire him. Because I think that especially if he retains any amount of salary, because retaining, that's the part that I don't think people, because I did look it up. When you retain salary, it is through the life of the contract.
Okay, they must have changed that in the last CBA that came out. Because there was, when the Hawks traded Oli Mata to the LA Kings, I know for sure they only retained 1 year of that contract out of the 2 years remaining on it.
Everything I looked said that you had, and I mean, I went back 10 years. And when you retain salary, you had to retain for the life. It wasn't, you couldn't retain for 1 year. It was for the life of the contract, for the remaining contract. Because you retained AAV. That's the issue, right? Mm-hmm. Because of the contract is written by AAV, when you retain, you're retaining part of the AAV, the overall AAV. So that's why it's life of the contract. That's why I struggle with the thing. Everyone else below, Nashville, Las Vegas, are selling. I just don't see it, man. I know what you're saying. I just don't see it. What did I do, Bob? I must have made him mad. He's out. I mean, the game is horrible. I mean, there's 7 to go. They're down by 2. They don't show any life whatsoever. Nothing that makes me think, oh my goodness, they might have a chance at this. That was a weak ass shot. Unless something picks up, I just don't see any goodness here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bud. Kids.
Okay, so I found out what how the Hawks were allowed It was the fact the Hawks were able to retain for 1 year of his 2 years remaining on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
They retained 18% of his contract, and the NHL has let teams do that for just 1 year of contract remaining. When there's 2 years left on a deal, you can retain a small percentage for just 1 year of the contract.
If you go to 50, though, it's over the life of the contract.
Yes.
So at some point, once you, so I'm guessing the percentage would be 30% or more, 25 or more. If you do that, then it's for the life of the contract.
Probably.
Right.
I mean, hell, if St. Louis needed to move Buchnevich out, they could always call up Kyle Davidson in Chicago and have him retain 50% of the deal because we have the money.
Yeah, but what would they want to do that? You know, would they take a 7th-round pick or a 6th-round pick? Because that's what New Jersey did. That's what New Jersey got with a 6th-round pick to do it.
It'll probably be a little bit more just because it's within the division.
No,
Probably
see,
a
and
fifth
that's why I
round.
wouldn't do it. That's why I wouldn't do it. If you're gonna make it be more than what New Jersey got, then no.
It'll probably be a 5th round pick on that.
Nah, wouldn't do it. And even though I don't have a lot of high regard for 5th-round picks, I still wouldn't do it.
I'm just glad the Hawks made a trade today of a player who really was not working out in Chicago.
Who'd they trade?
Anthony Beauvillier. They traded him to Nashville for a 5th round pick, but
Yeah.
we acquired Beauvillier back in late November, basically the day they cut Perry. They traded a 5th round pick to Vancouver for him, so we basically washed out the trade.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Beauvillier just did not work out in Chicago. Move him to Nashville, have him get an opportunity to maybe fight for a playoff spot. Might be good.
Whatever Perry did, I think if he does it on any other team, he's still on that team.
I know.
He's still on that team, right?
Yeah.
He gets disciplined, he gets training, whatever, but he's still on that team. Because it's Chicago and they have that stink on them, they had to cut bait.
Oh, I know. And I said that.
It's not being mean. I'm not being mean. I hope you know that.
I've said that multiple times, so I know what you're talking about.
Right. We talked. Wayne a couple days ago asked about the guys, the 5 guys from the 2018 World Junior team. You know, what about them? The thing with them right now, huh?
Their careers are probably done for now.
Well, I mean, I don't see this going to trial quickly.
The last I saw for it going to trial is 2026.
Yeah, right.
But
until it goes to trial,
from what it sounds like from Gary Bettman, they're not going to be playing in the NHL.
Until
everything's figured out.
Yeah.
They're at this point their careers are done.
Yeah.
That's not true, AC. The Hawks have players that are working out. It's the fact that our roster has a ton of holes on it. Nick Foligno, he's come to Chicago and he's having a rejuvenation of his career in Chicago.
Chicago's trying to build around one player, and that's not easy to do.
They aren't just building around Bedard. They're building around their prospects too. The fact that
feels like they're building around Bedard.
The Bedard's going to be the key piece to build with, but the fact is they have a high-ranked prospect pool in the league. They have prospects still coming up after Michigan's done this year, after Notre Dame's done. That's 2 more prospects coming right into the system, and Frank Nazar and Landon Slager. They're going to sign their ELCs and be inserted into the Blackhawks roster immediately. The Hawks have prospects they're building with. They're all in the juniors and in the AHL or college right now. The main player up right now is Connor Bedard, Alex Vlasic, and Kevin Korchinski. Korchinski could have benefited more if he was allowed to be sent down to the AHL. He was not, because he's 19. He would have been sent down to the WHL, where he's really graduated out of that style of play down in the juniors. He would have been much better off being sent to Rockford versus back to Seattle. So Korchinski's up for the Blackhawks, and he's played well for being a 19-year-old defenseman. They have pieces that are turning into cornerstone future core players for this team.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. It's just they're still 4 or 5 years away.
I'm saying 3. 3 years we'll have the Blackhawks back in the playoffs. The Blackhawks 100th anniversary, the Blackhawks will be competing in the playoffs.
I thought the Blackhawks were older than that.
No. The 1926-7 season was the Blackhawks' first season.
Yeah. I'm thinking the Blues are older than what they are too. So, got to remember the Blues are only a year older than me. So, so I know I'm not living to see the Blues 100th year. Because I live to be 99. Somebody shoot my ass. Oh, they're looking at pulling him already? Hope not. They're talking about it, but they just haven't. Oh, wow. That could have made it a 3-0 game. Wow.
I don't think New Jersey makes the playoffs this year.
I don't either. And
Their
that's why
injuries have
playing so
really-
bad against them doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it sounds like Tyler Toffoli is going to get traded from them. So if that's the case, they're going to miss the playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
The firing Lindy Ruff this week was kind of shocking because they probably should have done that earlier
Yeah.
rather than a few days before trade deadline. Most teams are if they're in a playoff position at trade deadline, they're making the playoffs. The Devils are not in a playoff position. It's going to be a hard wall to climb.
Yeah. Blues are doing it to themselves, man. Doing it to themselves. Preds are going to add some distance today. They're winning 2-1.
I wonder if Beauvillier was in the lineup today for the Predators. I didn't realize Nashville was playing.
Oh, there we go. Game over.
Empty net.
Oh, no, missed it.
Oh.
Missed it.
I'm seeing if Beauvillier was actually inserted into the lineup for Nashville, unless.
Well, if they're gonna hold off on the trade, yeah, you put him in.
No, I'm talking about the Blackhawks traded Beauvillier this afternoon.
Oh, I don't know if he'd get to the game in time.
Yeah, he wasn't in the lineup. When's your guys' next game?
Saturday, and this game's over.
Yeah,
oh no, they called a penalty.
Yeah, the Hawks' next game's Saturday also. We have Washington.
I think they called a penalty. Yep. Oh no, hand pass. Hand pass in the last 2 minutes should be a penalty.
It's interesting to see the Hawks travel back to Chicago today, and then they'll fly out to Washington tomorrow night.
Oh, I agree with you, Wayne. They are. Hawks play tonight? Or are they off?
We are off. We play on Saturday. We just had back-to-backs on Monday and Tuesday, so they gave us a few days off between games.
No, we didn't. We're 3 games in 4 nights, and then we play on Saturday.
Oh. Well, we've had a lot of those at the beginning of the year. So I think we're already bypassed a lot of the 3 and 4 nights.
This game has been that way, Jason. I mean, we were talking about everything but the game earlier.
Yeah, movies and stuff.
Movies and comedians that I don't like.
Yeah, St. Louis seems like they're timid to even shoot the puck.
Yeah. Well, they're getting outshot. Something fierce, man. What is it? 32 to 22, and then 6 apiece. You're behind. You've been behind this whole period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you're only had 6 shots.
When is it the Hawks play St. Louis next? I wonder.
In April. In April.
Okay. I think it's in St. Louis.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Maybe I'll go to it. Even though I have 3 games up in Chicago, I'm going to.
Yeah.
And maybe the tickets will be cheap because both teams are going to be eliminated.
Possible. Depends on how late they play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they play that late in April. I think they play earlier. I don't think we'll be eliminated by the time they play. But we'll be close.
Well, the Hawks pretty much are already eliminated without being said they are eliminated. We only have 16 wins on the year.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That will be 3 games, and that will be 4 games in 2 weeks for me if I go to that game.
When is it? Mid-April?
April 10th is what JJ is saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to a back-to-back game on April 4th and 5th. Then I have a game that I'm going
now it's over.
On the 12th, I think.
Yeah, that's it. 4-1. Huge loss. You know what, Wendy? I don't even want to talk anymore, man. I'm going to end the show, bud. It's just this was so bad for me tonight. I can't do it anymore, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time for the trade deadline show. We'll see what the Blues do. I see now maybe Buchnevich gets traded after this choke job. But guys, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye, buds.